here in the LockLyft with my man Xzibit.
Yeah, man.
This is an honor to have you here, man.
Likewise, man. Likewise.
Nah, man, you don't understand, like, people, you don't understand, like, what your music, I mean, you probably do understand, but what your music has meant to me and so many other people, specifically being a West Coast MC. And you have such a vast story.
Yeah.
Such a story that goes for decades now.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
From a lyrical MC to an incredible artist to a businessman. But I just want to start with my personal story.
Okay.
Somebody from the West Coast. You were the first person, or one of the first people that I saw that was doing lyrical hip hop, but you still was hard. You still had a hard edge.
Yeah, yeah.
Was that something that you were conscious about? Was that something that developed? Like, how did, like, I know you know what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
Where does that come from?
You know, the era and the time when I was coming out, it was heavily influenced by the G-Funk era. You know, Death Row Records was big at the time. Even before that, it was like the Above the Law, NWA. That sound was very
Prominent.
dominant.
Yeah.
It was prominent in the West Coast. So at that time, it was like a stamp when you could come out and be original.
Absolutely.
When you could do something that was not anti that sound, but it was just different from that sound.
Yeah.
Right? So but I love that.
Yes.
So my thing was to be a lyricist. You know what I'm saying? That would just happen to be from the West Coast. So lyricism is something that I take very important. It's like I appreciate good wordplay.
Yeah.
So that was, you know, but the environment that I was coming from was that. So it was dope to be able to put those sounds together and be able to make my sound.
Yes. It's because it's very unique.
Yes.
I mean, it almost feels like there's some East Coast influence with the, you know what I mean, with the hip hop, but then it's that hard West Coast influence too. So
because lyricists were only considered to be on the East Coast at the time. You know, and then it was cats like Razcast, and Crooked Eye, and you know, and Buckwheat at the time was dope. You know, Voodoo. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, because I remember hearing you guys on the Wake Up Show.
Yes, that
you
was,
know
that
what
was
I mean?
Before the internet. It was the Wake Up Show.
Yes, like you had to literally stay up, hit your tape recorders, or have somebody record. I remember I used to. I'd be like, Mom, can you record the Wake Up Show for me? You know what I'm saying? Like, boy, I ain't about to be staying up this late recording that.
The Wake Up Show was like that was the proving ground. If you had bars and you thought you was about it, then you show up there.
Facts.
And either you ate or got eaten.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And it was dope because Tech and Sway were the pioneers of that, of bringing us together.
Man, shout out to Tech and Sway.
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
That was like, for me, coming up, hearing you guys on there. Razcast, Saphir, Cannabis, all these guys up there. I mean, Nas, Jay-Z, Biggie, like everybody had to tap through. Everybody had to tap through the Wake Up Show. And when I heard some people from the West Coast and spitting like that, I was just like, yo, this is possible to be a lyricist.
Absolutely.
And then so for me, I'm witnessing, I'm watching from the outside. I'm seeing Xzibit being this hip hop guy, but getting respected by the industry. Another thing, just a little side note, one of the first battles I ever did was the Blaze battle.
Yeah.
On Sunset.
Okay.
You remember that at the House of Blues?
Yes.
And you were the host of that.
Okay.
And that was my first time like in a big battle like that. And I remember seeing you guys. You had to fly Averex jacket on.
Yeah.
Oh man, I was like, yo, I gotta get me an Averex. But were you? So at that time, were you on Loud Records?
Yes.
Because I think Loud kind of sponsored that.
Yeah, Loud Records was the original label I was signed on, and then I think on my fourth album. Loud had folded into Columbia Sony Records, so I became a Columbia Sony artist, and that was the beginning of what I was doing. You know,
you mentioned something to me before off camera, and I was just wondering if you could speak on this just a little bit.
Yeah.
about signing deals. You had a unique situation.
Right.
You were initially signed to a production company.
Yeah.
Called
Jack Move Production.
Hold on. Can you explain? But then you end up taking